Senior cleric Muqtada al-Sadr's call for 1 million people to join a march in Iraq became a reality. Iraqis demanded that all US forces leave the country and close all bases. The calls by al-Sadr highly condemned the US forces being present in Iraq, and in it he specified the need for 1 million people to take to the streets to voice their opinions as one in face of the US arrogance at their expired invitation in the country. The march comes following the assassination of Lieutenant General Qasem Soleimani and the deputy leader of the PMU, Abu Mahdi al-Mohandes. The call by al-Sadr comes as a sign that the PMU, which is part of the Iraqi armed forces, are uniting with al-Sadr on common interests. As with the Iranians following the assassination of Lieutenant General Soleimani, the Iraqis united as one in the call for removing US interests in the country, with Qais al-Khazali issuing a statement thanking al-Sadr for starting the Million-Man Initiative. The message being sent is one of peace and transition, with calls demanding a legal exit from Iraq. However, the PMU have vowed that the offer to leave peacefully is not open-ended, and failure to act will result in the PMU taking up arms to remove the American forces. The US has not taken heed of the Iraqi parliament vote for them to withdraw from the state, even though the vote was not legally binding. Prior to this, Washington breached its agreement with Iraq in an airstrike that killed the 2 senior military commanders. However, the US reaction to the protest is to continually reiterate the need for the Iraqis to pay back a huge sum of money, which the US claims is in Iraqi hands. The Iraqis, however, have made their point clear, looking east to Russia and China to muster support and remove the US from its sovereign territory once and for all.
Today's march, to me, is an obvious game changer. One after 3 weeks of the extraordinary session of the Iraqi parliament, in which they demanded the expelling of the United States of America's army and foreign forces out of Iraq, and this is unanimously passed as a law. The Iraqi called the march a second revolution, essentially after an Iraqi uprising led to the withdrawal of the British forces. They call it Thawrat al-20, the 20th revolution.
The age-old empirical formula of divide and rule is a policy that's been practiced time and again by the American and British. The US occupation of Iraq in 2003 saw the US and British commit endless atrocities under the banner of promoting democracy and reconstructing Iraq in a post-Saddam era. The spreading of lies and division policies has seen the West destroy centuries-old bonds, as with the British rule over India, and the spreading of division theory in places like Rwanda. However, all have failed. The US appears to be applying the same policy in Iraq, attempting to maintain its presence in the state and divide the people of Iraq as it seeks to carve out a Sunni state, supported by the Kurds to the north. The potential path to separating Iraq will be to create a semi-autonomous administrative region under the pretext of complying with the Iraqi constitution, which allows such action.
This is as well showing that Trump is investing heavily now in trying to divide Iraq along the ethnic and sectarian lines. And this meeting with the Iraqi president is going to add, who's have no constitutional powers, is going to add at least to that kind of a plan. And we've seen on this, instead of the Iraqi President Salehi apologize and not even attending such a meeting, he goes there, and this will anger more the people. But the worrying thing is maybe there is a kind of cooperation between the Kurds and because the Iraqi president is a Kurdish position, between the Kurds and the United States of America.
The one thing that is clear is that empirical ways are dead and gone, and the US rule over the world is over. The fact that there were in excess of 2.5 million people at the protest is evidence that there was only one voice.